Hello, it's Angel here. Today we're doing a walk through the forest as an archetype. This is inspired by Jessie and her tarot tag. I've decided to do this as a tarot spread, and I will link Jessie's channel in the description box. So for this spread I'm using an array of different decks which I picked intuitively. They felt right in the moment. I'm going into the woods, obviously into the forest, to meet and embrace, my inner wolf, to meet it head on. To accept it and embrace it. This is about some shadow work that I've been working with recently. This felt really relevant to where I'm in my practice right at the moment. So there are 12 prompts within this tag, and my plan was just to take you along for a bit of a snippet, a bit of a spotlight on this journey. As I was answering the prompts, to see how I use my cards and just putting a spotlight on my practice in this moment. So the first prompt is what or who brings me to the forest, and I decided to go intuitively with the Woodland Warden's Oracle. Here you'll see I pulled the Owl and Hop card, which is the keyword is wisdom. So this is all about knowledge and understanding with a touch of mystery. Spiritual and intellectual fulfillment. And the guidebook reads, "You have come to the end of a long journey. Relish in your achievements." And if that doesn't speak to what I've just mentioned about this long journey, this long healing journey and the shadow work journey that I'm on, I don't know what does. So this is the Tarot of Strange Antlers. So I pulled the Queen of Cups and even the Five of Wands. Now the Queen of Cups always speaks to me of immersing myself, tapping into the emotional pools, listening and really focusing on what my intuition is trying to tell me, and what it wants me to feel. The Five of Wands, it feels like it's a continuation of the climb, looking for the clearing that is to come. So the Darkwood Tarot, this is my Ride or Die deck. It's my shadow work deck. But more than that, it's a deck that's really helped me take leaps on my healing journey, on this healing path. So I pulled a card for the second prompt, which was who or what do I connect with here? So I pulled the World card, and I even pulled forward the Hierophant card, which was on the bottom of the deck. So the World card speaks to me of completion, of cycles, and with its connection to Saturn, it makes me definitely think of limitations and restrictions, and recognising my own limitations, or even the limitations that I've been putting on myself. Now the Hierophant card speaks to me of this contract, or these contracts of self, which I've spoken about in previous videos. Even the keys feel really important to unlocking some hidden block that I'm not willing to take out and look at, possibly. Now obviously the Hierophant card is connected to Taurus, and Taurus is stubborn and immovable, and I know that I can be that with myself, which sounds really bizarre, but it's true. Now this Hierophant card or figure appears to be blocking something in the path there. So maybe that's what this card's about. It's about the blockages that I need to unlock. Now I pulled forward the Earth and Bone Oracle here. I wasn't intending to work this deck, but I just got an intuitive download again. So I pulled that deck forward, gave it a shuffle, and I just wanted to have a bit of a dialogue about the two cards that I'd pulled. So I waited until a card felt like it wanted out of the deck, and that card was Warrior. Inner strength, clarity and presence. And in the guidebook it read, I finally believe that I am deserving. I am focused on this present moment with mind, body and spirit to open the gates of clarity and perspective. I am brave, I am courageous, I am emotionally strong. Now I decided to pull another card from the Darkwood Tarot, which was the Hanged One. The Hanged One always speaks to me of enlightenment, surrender, pausing, being still in the moment, listening, understanding what's going on in the moment, and obviously a change in perspective, seeing things from a different angle. This also makes me think of Neptune and meditation, even dreams with the water element. And I read actually in one of the guidebooks that Neptune rules Pisces, which is the 12th house, which is all about secrets, and the places, and it rules the places where those secrets are confined and locked away. So that's really interesting. Maybe I need to look to my dreams and to meditation to get a deeper understanding of the blocks and the secrets that are still hidden away from me. So that was my next question. My continuation of dialogue with my cards. Which secrets are still locked away from me? Now, I decided to pull the Lopatin Oracle. Again, it wasn't a deck that I was planning on using, but I just felt drawn to it. So this card is all about prosperity, manifesting things that have produced results, things that I can be proud of, that I've achieved. But it also speaks of being afraid that someone might steal away what I've worked so hard to achieve. That they might threaten my peace and the harmony that I've strived to build in my life and to have in my life. And it speaks about not being afraid of losing what you've achieved, but instead to work to strengthen it. Which is maybe what also this path is about, going into the woods, meeting my inner wolf head on and facing the fears. So I continue to go off script from the prompts and continue with my deck dialogue. My next question, or the question I wanted answered, was why am I so afraid that someone might steal what I've worked so hard to achieve? The Darkwood Tarot is always a trusted deck, so that's the one that came out, and I waited for a card to resonate, and out popped the Four of Cups. So something that I don't want to look at. And then the Six of Cups was on the bottom of the deck. So a memory of something that's happened before, but a memory that I don't want to take out and examine or give power to, possibly. I found that really, really interesting. So the deck dialogue continued. And this time I decided to reach for the Oak, Ash and Thorn deck to my right. It's not a deck that I've worked with previously. It's a deck I've had for a long time in my collection. And I've tried to bring it into rotation. It just hasn't felt like the right time. But now suddenly for this spread, it feels, like it fits perfectly. So I give the deck a good shuffle and I wait for that card that feels like it resonates for me to pop out of the deck. And there we have it. Oops. Which doesn't want to be read, apparently. Okay, so we had the Magician. That's interesting. And on the bottom of the deck, we had the Seven of Swords. Now I'm having a bit of a moment with the Seven of Swords recently. Yeah, these cards are soon going to come into frame again, but I'm making the connection between the crow energy that's appearing in all three of those cards. The crow is not an animal that I generally feel very drawn to, although I've looked into the crow and I read that by looking into the crow's eyes, it's like gazing into the supernatural, what requires vision, what seeks to be understood, and what wants my attention. I'm just going to pop these cards out of the way so that I can bring these four cards into shot. So that was very interesting, considering that the Four of Wands is trying to look away from something, to ignore, to not see, whereby the crow and the card, these cards are really kind of leading me to look at something, to try and get my attention. Now, the magician energy in the shadow position kind of speaks to me of the trickster energy, an illusionist, maybe like peddling fake elixirs and lots of smoke and magic, or smoke and mirror magic, sorry. Which speaks to me of what I'm being dishonest with myself about, which leads back to the Seven of Swords. What am I trying to evade? What am I being dishonest with myself about? What am I trying to make a clean getaway about? The Seven of Swords and the Little Red Riding Hood theme and the big bad wolf in the background is what started this inner wolf journey, I feel, and I've just been kind of following the breadcrumbs to this point, basically, in my healing journey, in my healing path. I'm going to get a bit more into the Red Riding Hood and Big Bad Wolf archetypes a little bit later on in another part of the reading. So I'm still having some dialogue with my decks here. I've gone off road. We're off road now. We're not following the prompts. And I didn't particularly have a question in mind. I just wanted to see what cards would jump out in relation to the 4 cards in front of me. So this one felt relevant. Oh, looky there again. We've got the Seven of Swords. That evasion, that trying to evade the truth, trying to evade the clarity. Again, the cards are out of shot. They're going to be moved up in a wee second. And that third card was the Fool. So this speaks to me of, I'm trying to evade facing my truth. I think I want a new, fresh start. But until I can look at those swords in my hand that I'm carrying and face the wolf behind me, I won't find clarity or freedom to take that new leap. So I felt like the Tower of Strange Antlers had a message to kind of, clarify what was going on the floor here for me. So I pulled this card, which was the Sun card, which always speaks to me of flying my freak flag, being myself, letting my light shine. And then I kind of got a really strange feeling that I needed to pull the guidebook from the Fifth Spirit Tarot. This is not a deck that's been on my radar at all this month. It hadn't appeared last month. I kind of had no inclination to work with this deck right at this moment. And so, I dashed off, pulled the deck, grabbed the guidebook, and had a read through for the Seven of Swords. I felt like it was really relevant. It was a message that I needed to be seen. So here's the guidebook entry for the Seven of Swords. So I'm paraphrasing here, but in the guidebook it reads, in readings, the Seven of Swords is a clue to step off the straight and narrow path and employ some unconventional tactics. It also reads, if you are seeing adversaries around every corner or feeling the need to sneak and steal to get what you want, this card calls for you to disentangle your fears from what's real. Cleverness is useful, but it has its limits. Maybe your nest would be safer if you'd stop building it out of swords. And that was really interesting, considering that you've got the nest with the crow in 2. And even the third card felt a little bit like a nest situation there. The swords have been brought into the nest. So maybe I need to stop looking on the pessimistic side of life, of what could happen, what could be taken from me, that scarcity mindset. Maybe I just need to shine my light, fly my freak flag, and just enjoy what is going on and what I have in the moment without worrying about what's behind or what's ahead of me. So this is the way I tend to work with all of my tarot spreads. I tend to pull a card or two for the prompts and then, go off-road and have some dialogues with my tarot decks. I tend to go rogue from the get-go, as Candy would say, from Candy, Soul and Soil. And of course I'll continue in this way with the rest of the prompts. As mentioned, there are 12 prompts to be worked with, and as mentioned, I will list or link Jessie Chom's video and channel in the description box. So there may well be future videos of me popping a spotlight on my practice coming to my channel. This just gives you an opportunity to get a bit of an insight into my practice, to what I do, and even how I use my tarot and oracle decks in combination with each other. You'll notice during the readings that I do pull a variation of different decks, and I don't particularly have a structure where it concerns the decks that I pull. If I get an intuitive hit whilst doing a spread, then I will pull a different deck forward or another deck forward. So I hope you enjoyed joining me for this spotlight on my practice. Keep a lookout, there will be others coming up on this channel. Don't forget to go to the description box and take a look at Jessie's video and her hashtag video. If you'd like to do a VR to that, I'd love to watch it. Otherwise I'm going to thank you so much for keeping me company and for watching this video. Take care, and I'll see you next time. Toodaloo!